What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. Today, special day, special day. Shout out to the mailman. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, Brian Green. But wait, there's more, because you acted. Today is also my daughter Michaela's birthday. And it's the reason why we didn't have the live stream tonight. Just got back a little bit ago, went out to dinner and spending time. I can't believe it's 31 years ago, 31 years ago that I saw my baby for the first time. My God, time has flown. It's just crazy. And this is where you have to remember, enjoy every minute of your life, because time goes by fast. She has, just like all my kids, I am so blessed to have wonderful kids, and to have seen them and been part of their lives, all of their life, for me, has truly been a blessing. That's where I realize I am truly a rich man, because of the friends, the family, and the relationships that I have. So I'm getting back, and I haven't actually had a chance to watch the game, but I'm looking at the highlights. I saw on Twitter and everything else a couple of things about the Commanders versus the Ravens. The Commanders, week 2, preseason game. Sam Howell. I'm old enough to remember last year going to training camp with Rio. I remember a couple things. I remember looking at Chase Young and saying, he ain't anywhere close to being ready to play. I could tell by the gait that he had that I know from my own personal experience what that feels like on the knee. And I'm like, that brother ain't ready. He ain't going to be ready for a long time. And he wasn't. The next thing I remember was seeing Carson Wentz sailing passes left and right all over the place. And I remember seeing Sam Howell, who seemed like he was the best quarterback they had. I remember saying that to Rio, and I said, Sam Howell scares me more than Carson Wentz. And Sam Howell ended up leading a victory for the Commanders over the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, one of the few victories the Commanders have had over the Dallas Cowboys. And so tonight, and again, it's preseason, so don't make too much out of preseason per se. But we've heard a lot of, comments about how good Sam Howell has looked in practice, and how Ron Rivera is confident in him. And now they've got a real offensive coordinator in Eric Bieniemy. Man, it's hot out here tonight. Good Lord. I don't know that I need this fire here tonight. It is humid and hot. Let me just leave a little bit going. Just a little. There we go. Just a little bit. But now they've got an offensive coordinator who is not allowing them to get away with shit. He's putting foot in asses, and he's bringing an attitude, as well as a couple of rings on his finger. And we have been joking the Commanders. We've been focused in on the Eagles, of course, because, Philly 500 and all the talking heads have told us that they're the greatest team of all time constructed. And then, of course, we saw Danny Dimes looking really good in that drive that he had this past week. And his air, knowing that the Giants said, you're worth $40 million a year and paying him. We've been focused in on those two teams. But I think we need to be focused on the Commanders. Here's what's interesting to me. We could have last year had 4 teams in the playoffs, which would have been a record. Had the Commanders not gone back to Carson Wentz, where he threw 3 interceptions in the game. If they had won that game, they might have been in the playoffs. Yeah. And so as we start here looking at the divisions, just go with me here, okay? NFC South. Carolina, rebuilding. Atlanta hasn't been the same since they lost the Super Bowl to New England, giving up that 28-3 lead. Tampa Bay starting over after Tom Brady. Probably New Orleans with the defense and Derek Carr will win the division. But I don't see anybody else in the division making any noise. AFC North. You've got Minnesota Vikings that won last year, that have lost some pieces, that may still be pretty good. You have everybody's favorite, the Detroit Lions, but they're the Lions. And then, of course, now there's revisionist history that Justin Fields is a great quarterback and now has some weapons. I honestly say, I really don't see more than one team coming from that division. The only other division that you look at and say there could be multiple would be the West. We know San Francisco is a really good team, great players, and you probably expect them to win their division. Seattle was a playoff team last year, but it would not surprise me if they took a step back. So it is conceivable that you could see 4 teams from the NFC East. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm just putting out there the thought process. Now, the problem now for the Commanders is, and the thing that you hate about preseason, for us to lose Stevenson and Overshown in meaningless games definitely does not help our cause. Stevenson was looking good, looking at actually making some noise, as a tight end that nobody knew about. And of course, Overshown was definitely in the plans of being used because of his speed. A young guy, and definitely would have been a special team standout. You hate to lose those 2 guys for the season. Now, they're not losing Terry McLaurin for the season, but it appears that he's got some kind of a toe injury, okay? It was thought that maybe it's high ankle sprain. You saw his foot get caught up underneath of him. But I'm going to tell you that whether it's a high ankle sprain or a turf toe, I know people are like, it's just your toe. It's your toe is big time when you're talking about being a football player. Because if you've ever jammed your finger, imagine that's your toe and that every time you try and push off, you can't push off. And it feels like somebody is sticking a knife between the web of your feet. That's what it feels like. So that could be one of those injuries that goes 2-3 weeks into the season before he gets back out there. Definitely bears worth watching. So that's what we have as far as those guys go. Now, this is the craziest shit to think that Shannon Sharpe gets out of his contract with Fox only to go to ESPN with Stephen A. Smith. And Michael Irvin, having been shunned by the NFL Network and ESPN, is going to Fox. That we literally have co-hostess changing teams. I will say, I think Shannon Sharpe has got the best of the deal. Michael Irvin going with Skip Bayless. I'm sorry, I am not a Skip Bayless fan. Skip Bayless, to me, is just that guy that just wants to stir up shit and controversy. That he doesn't really bring anything other than bullshit to the table. But I understand a paycheck is a paycheck. And for Michael Irvin to be where he was with the NFL Network, with the Sunday broadcast, with ESPN, to go to Skip Bayless on Undisputed is truly a step down. But I'm glad that Michael Irvin got a new gig, and I'm glad there's a place for us to go. I will say, Skip Bayless got the best of that deal. So that's what we have. I will do my live stream tomorrow night instead. I know other people do their live streams normally on Tuesday nights and things, but I've got to get it in tomorrow. It was just too late to get it going tonight, and I apologize for not being able to do it, but I don't apologize for spending time with my family. Which brings me to my final thought, of course. Make sure you guys remember to tell the people you love them, because you might not get the chance again. And for all my friends out there in California, I know Ward family, you got trains that have literally been blown off the tracks out there in Cali. For all those dealing with floods after all of the floods you had to deal with before, my heart goes out to you, and I'm praying for y'all. And remember, I love you guys. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.